Hello, Suzanne here, and today I'm going to try the CHING on video and see how it works. Testing one, testing two. We all know the routine. I use the Wilhelm Baines translation, the CHING. I've used many copies of this over the years. They all look like this eventually. Page in, page out. It's all messed up. Oh yeah. And so on, and so on, and so on. So, tried and true. This is probably like my 10th copy since I first started using it in the late 60s, I believe it was, early 70s. So here we are. I've already tossed the coins. And there they are. I do the yarrow stocks, but it's a longer process. And this is just as good. So here we go. We got soon. I don't pronounce Chinese very well. Let's just look. If you can move this up a little closer. Maybe. I'm not sure how this is going to work, so let's see. Long Kin or Jin Kim, and we'll see how that goes. And if I'm butchering it, please, anyone out there who can pronounce these things for me. I've never said them out loud. So let's just go through this. Fellowship with men. Fellowship with men in the open brings success. Furthers one to cross the great water. Perseverance of the superior man furthers. True fellowship among men must be based upon concern that is universal. It is not the private interests of the individual that creates lasting fellowship among men, but rather the goals of humanity. That is why it is said that fellowship with men in the open succeeds. If unity of this kind prevails, even difficult and dangerous tasks, such as crossing the great water, can be accomplished. But in order to bring about this sort of fellowship, a persevering and enlightened leader is needed. A man with clear, convincing, and inspiring aims, the strength to carry them out. The image here, heaven together with fire, the image of fellowship with men. Thus, the superior man organizes the clans and makes distinctions between things. Heaven is the same direction movement as fire, yet it is different from fire, just as the luminaries in the sky serve for the systematic division and arrangement of time. So human society and all things that really belong together must organically be arranged. Fellowship should not be a mere mingling of individuals or of things. That would be chaos, not fellowship. If fellowship is to lead to order, there must be organization within diversity. Well, folks, sounds like us all the way. We have one line, one changing line, which will lead us to another hexagram as well. 9 at the top. Fellowship with men in the meadow, no remorse. The warm attachment that springs from the heart is lacking here. We are by this time actually outside of fellowship with others. Oh boy, are we ever. However, we ally ourselves with them. The fellowship does not include all, only those who happen to dwell near one another. The meadow is the pasture at the entrance to the town. At this stage, the ultimate goal of the union of mankind has not yet been attained, but we need not reproach ourselves. We join the community without separate aims of our own. All for one, folks. One for all. All right. Since we had a moving line, guess where we get to go? To our second hexagram, which is Ko. I believe. Help me, guys. Anybody who knows Chinese. Revolution, molting. Chinese character for this hexagram is the original sense of an animal's pelt. It changes over the course of the year by molting. From this, the word is carried over to apply to moltings. In political life, the great revolutions connected with changes of government. Yep. These influences are actually conflict. The forces that combat each other are fire and water, each trying to destroy the other. Hence the idea of revolution. I believe the I Ching has hit it on the head again, as usual. It's why it's my favorite counselor. It's eerie, but wonderful. The judgment, revolution. On your own day you are believed, supreme success, furthering through perseverance, remorse disappears. Political revolutions are extremely grave matters. They should be undertaken only under stress of dire necessity, and when there's no other way out. Not everyone is called to do this task. Only the man who has the confidence of the people, and even he only when the time is ripe. He must then proceed. Excuse me, my thumbs, as you can see from my hands, I'm swollen with arthritis. All right, he must proceed in the right way so that he gladdens the people and by enlightening them prevents excesses. Furthermore, he must be quite free of selfish aims and must really relieve the need of the people. Only then does he have nothing to regret. Times change, and with them their demands. Thus the seasons change in the course of the year. In the world cycle also, there are spring and autumn in the life of peoples and nations, and these call for social transformation. The image of revolution. Thus the superior man sets the calendar in order and makes the seasons clear. Fire below, lake above, combat and destroy each other. So too, in the course of a year, a combat takes place between the forces of light and darkness. Eventually, the revolution of the seasons. Man masters these changes in nature by noting their regularity and marking off the passage of time accordingly. In this way, order and clarity appear in the apparently chaotic changes of the seasons, and man is able to adjust himself in advance to the demands of different times. I believe the I Ching has been quite clear. Let's see what else came out. These old coins, I've used these. I've had several sets, of course, but I've used these for the last, 20 or 30 years. Prosperity. Mystic star. Harmony in the home and with great friendships. We can prosper in the time of cholera, you might say. Great book. When we group together, as it says, it's a small group, local group, a village, when we become a village. The revolution is inevitable now. We're not going back to the old ways, folks. Maybe some morph into something different, better, hopefully better. We don't have that much time left. According to how Mama Earth is doing right now, some people say as little as 5 years before this is all fallen apart. Whether you believe that or not, keep your eye on the weather, keep your eye on what's going on in the world, and prepare, because in reality, none of us have tomorrow. We're not guaranteed anything. So act like it, treasure it, do what you want to do, help those that need help, pay attention, value yourself and your time. If you do nothing with it, value that nothingness. If you do everything with it, don't wear yourself out. You're not Superman. Or maybe you are. I do not know. It's possible. You could be Clark Kent or Lois or whoever. We'll go with it. Anyway, that's the first trial run on the I Ching reading. I would like some feedback. All right, guys. Namaste.